It's finals footy, and we're underway at Viking Park. And Hawara drops that right on the 22. And the Spirit picking that one up pretty easily. Nizarani back in the side this week. Played for the Barbarians last week and starred for the UK club. Grant with an awkward-looking kick, and it went over the head of Hawara. Uses his footballing skills there to keep the ball in the field of play. And now Banks runs into heavy contact from Vui and Kateka. A comeback short side. Hawara takes it over the 10. Fainga, a little fumble there. He's knocked it on, so it's a turnover, and the Spirit will look to swing into attack here. Verdiam using the hands, and now they get it wide. Out to Euster, and back inside to Ferris, up towards the 5. Here's Nizarani. The Perth Spirit attacking straight up in this NRC semi. Arnold caught in the midfield, a little isolated. The Vikings were all over that, and they've turned it over. That's what this Vikings forward pack can do to you. If you don't have numbers in the breakdown, they will punish you, and Hawara has to exit. Pretty stiff breeze. He's kept it in the field of play, and Owen will run it back. Has to run around Ian Pryor there. Kateka. Hands. Out to Vui. Grant. Hands again, Verdiam. Stepping towards the 22. They've got the penalty advantage. Here's Owen again. They're holding him up. The Vikings will come back for the penalty.
Clear release. Clear release.
Pretty hectic first 2 minutes, Drew Mitchell.
Yeah, long sequence there, and just maybe a little bit of a nervy start there from the Vikings, just misjudging the wind on 2 occasions. One was Hawara, and when they were trying to clear their own half of the Spirit. And the other one was also Flower Fanger, just not watching the ball into his hands and just dropping it just before contact. So a little bit nervy, but defended pretty well to get that turnover, and they're just going to have to adjust to that wind a little bit. We saw their attempted exit also didn't go probably to plan as to the way they wanted it. So little things for them to look out for early in this game.
It is a stiff breeze here at Viking Park. The Vikings are running straight into it.
That's an understatement, Swaney. I just got a massive face of plastic. Massive plastic right in the face from that wind. It is very strong down here and very cold as well.
Anaru Rangi, the skipper for the first time in the Perth Spirit side. The throw is good. They set up the maul. They set it up well. This is a good, strong start from the Spirit. It goes to deck illegally, though. They've got the penalty advantage. They drop it back inside to David. David close to the line. A pick and go from Kateka. They're close. They pick and go again. The Perth Spirit. Pryor in digging. Gives it to Nizarani, who puts the head down. The Vikings do very well to stop him. The pick and go again. It's a try this time around. And it's big Richie Arnold who will get the first try of this semi-final.
That's how you start a semi-final, Swaney. Just pressure for the first opening 3.5 minutes from the Spirit, making the Vikings come up with some uncharacteristic errors in the opening stages here, and then it was just phase after phase after phase, and soon enough the Vikings just ran out of numbers, and big Richie Arnold, too big, too strong from that far out, got underneath them and got the ball over.
It was certainly great continuity from the Perth Spirit. They know what they're doing at this time of the year, being the defending champs and all. Peter Grant. Peter Grant adds the extras. It is 7 points to 0. That is Arnold's second try in as many weeks.
Really important huddle there for Tom Cusack, just to get his guys in and just to calm them a little bit. They're a little bit nervy and just needs to get them refocused on their next job, which is just to compete at this kickoff.
Yeah, a little rattled, as you say, a couple of little fumbles early on in their first attacking foray. The breeze is so strong in their face, though. Howard again puts it onto the 22. It looks like the breeze has swung around and the ball was carried then as Ferris takes it into contact. Spirit just one-off stuff. Kateka. Here's Nizarani again, shifting it this time. Long ball. And out towards the wing. David. Caught on the 5. It'll be a turnover. So the Vikings will get a chance to attack in the Perth half.
Yeah, Perth Spirit just going away from what worked for them in their first attempted exit and just playing the ball through the phases too many times. They thought they saw an opportunity with some space out wide. But David just not able to get that foot free, and just a loose carry there in the placement gives the Vikings their first opportunity with ball in hand in their attacking half.
Louis David making the error from the West Scarborough club in WA. It is the first time in the last 8 games that the Vikings haven't scored first in their games.
That's where Tom Cusack's leadership is going to be really crucial.
Straight to deck initially. So we'll pack another one. 2 very strong front rows. Cowan, Rangi and Vui for the Spirit up against Sione, Fainga and Macon.
Yeah, both teams have really used the scrum and the set piece as a platform to just unleash 2 really exciting backlines. So it'll be interesting to see what they've got up their sleeves here, the Vikings.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Better scrum from the Vikings. Twisting around the Spirit with a second nudge, but the Vikings get the penalty. First blood at scrum time for the Canberra side.
Yeah, they got a lot of confidence from that. They've got a lot of momentum in this NRC campaign off the back of a really strong set piece, and they'll know that they're coming up against a strong set piece in the Perth Spirit side as well, so they get a lot of confidence from that, and they've chosen to go for touch here.
Johnston will put it into the corner. Not a bad touch finder. He's pretty good at that part of his game, Ben Johnston.
One thing the Vikings are also really good at is this set piece. They're driving more, just getting really well positioned, getting good body height and just driving forward.
Fainga goes to the back to Swain. He can't quite get the ripper on. Now it works for him. And it gets passed back to Fainga. Spirit really driving through though. Now they send it wide to Hawara, who gets monstered. They'll come back the same way to Valentini. Again, real physicality, a real sting in the Perth tackles today. Nizarani making the tackle there. Here's Valentini again, having a second crack. Rangi puts him on the deck. Same way, Hawara, little dummy. Still stays on his feet though. Loses it. So opportunity goes begging for the Vikings. Vui up and goes again, gets the offload away to Kateka. Can't quite shake the tackle of Iki Tau. Arnold, the try scorer, short ball to Nizarani up over halfway. Grant, little kick in behind. There was space. Overcooks it though. Will come back for a line out inside the Perth Spirit half.
Yeah, Peter Grant won't be happy with that, but what he is seeing is some space in behind there. You have to say that their intent and their enthusiasm is outweighing that of Vikings at the moment in these early stages. Just how quick they are to get off the ground, and also their line speed in defence is a little bit ahead of the Vikings at the moment.
They've built a lot of their wins this year off that line speed, as have the Vikings, but you're right, the Perth Spirit, they just seem to have that intensity at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. They're just stinging a little bit in their tackles, and we're seeing, I mean, the Vikings have got some really able ball carriers and guys are willing to put their hand up and do double efforts, but They just can't act in isolation. They're going to have to get numbers and make sure they keep that ball.
Guys, we spoke a bit pre-match about Perth winning finals on the road and winning on the road in general. Last season, they won a game in Sydney and then backed up in Tamworth to take out the title. And that was off the back of playing their final round of the season in Canberra as well. So they're very, very well accustomed to this, and they've come out absolutely firing, like you say.
Very good tourists, the Perth Spirit. Vikings just win that one. Valentini has to scramble to get his hands on that one. Howard to Dargaville. Straightening, looking for the offload, Dargaville. Howard to the skipper, Cusack, running back on the angle. Again, the Perth Spirit competing at every breakdown. Not making it easy for the Vikings. Lealua Iali'i-Macon with that inside ball from Howard. It hit the referee. Damon Murphy just getting in the way there, so...
Better attack there from the Vikings, who you see here. He's just got options around him now. Hawera he's got inside options. He's got ball carriers on his outside as well. And we see a little bit of interplay between forwards as well. Nice little short passing games as well. So that's been piecing a few phases together, starting to look a little bit more of a threat here in the first 10 minutes.
It was the right idea. The gap was there. Pretty unfortunate, really, for the Vikings.
Yeah, it was hard for the referee to get out of the way there.
Bind. Set.
We've seen a few referees in the action the last few weeks. Murphy doing a great job, though. And it's a big scrum from the Vikings. They get the penalty advantage again. They'll milk it. So the scrum is working. As you say, Drew Mitchell, their set piece has been strong this year.
Yeah, it has been. And just a little bit of patience and experience from them there. They just felt as though they had the push on them, and they kept the ball in. They weren't too eager to get the ball out. They just knew if they kept the ball in and kept pushing forward, that penalty would come. And here it has.
Johnston hoofs it down towards the 22.
I think we also need to mention that it's a massive day for Dean Oakman Hunt. Of course, Blake Enever would normally be the starting second rower, but he's off with Wallabies at the moment. And, of course, Sam Carter's with the Barbarians, so Dean Oakman Hunt gets a chance in the starting side today.
Also, Matt Phillip on Wallabies duties. So the Perth Spirit missing second rower of their own. Ben Grant in the side, and the Vikings go to the back. Valentini throws a loose pass. It pops up into the hands of the Perth Spirit. And Verdiam looks to have been turned over. Sure has. Vikings now. Again, a loose pass. Dargaville having to go back and pick that one up. Stepping. Cusack straightening. Does that so well. Haura out the back to Ikitau now. Looking a bit more dangerous, the Viking side. Valentini running back at the angle. Quick ball. Again, the inside ball to Muirhead. Now they go wide. Again, the defence is good. Cusack. That's a Hawara. Is Whakasalea leaves it. Dargaville has to pick it up again off his bootlaces. Caught up near the 22. So they're going backwards, the Vikings here. Faenga picks and goes.
Turnover's good.
The turnover is good, as Damon Murphy put it there. So Ferris comes charging away. Verdiam skips out of one. Up towards halfway. Vikings can't get it done at this point. Arnold, the try scorer. It's nice quick ball. Vui out the back. They shifted along the line to David.
Knock on my goal.
He can't hold on to it. So the Vikings will have the feed to the scrum.
We'll knock on there by Red. Scrum over here.
Certainly better attack there from the Vikings. I just thought, though, that they probably just went wide a little bit too early there. Hawera called for the ball, and when they went wide, it didn't go to hand, but their forwards are doing such good work, playing in tight and picking and driving and playing that one off the ruck. As we see the mistake from the Spirit, the knock-on that will lead to this scrum, but I just thought maybe they needed to keep it in tighter for a little bit longer, because they're making some really good meters in tight there, and when they went wide, the ball didn't go to hand.
Patience has certainly been a hallmark of their game in 2017. They're not showing a lot of it right now.
I think also because they've always, more often than not, been out in front. They've found themselves in an unfamiliar situation, and they just need to calm themselves, and they just almost look a little bit snatchy out there. Just got to back themselves. They're a good enough team. If they just keep playing the way they've been playing all NRC, that type of play that their expectations are at, that it'll come.
Got weapons in that back line.
Conversely, though, the Spirit really strong in defence, putting them under a lot of pressure.
They really are muscling up, particularly in their own half. They've had to defend a lot in their own half so far in this game.
Bind. Set.
Better hit from the Spirit. They get a little shove on. It's certainly not easy for Lonergan to get his hands on the Spirit. Earn the tight head. That was a better scrum from the Western Aussies.
Yeah, it's a great response from the guys up front, and all the team have come in to congratulate them. A couple of bum pats out there and some high fives.
And they'll kick to touch. They'll attack for about 40 out from the Vikings line. Wasn't the best touch finder from Peter Grant, but a very experienced campaigner, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Clean win for Grant. Here's the other Grant. Out the back to nobody. Euster has to go back and clean it up. Naisarani bumps off Hawera and Johnston. Arnold on the burst. Valentini underneath it, turns it over. Lonergan, the box kick's touched, so it's play on. Arnold runs into a big tackle from Johnston, big collision. Vui in midfield. Oh, he's so hard to bring down. Shambek Lavui gets it away to Veritiem, stepping. The cover tackle had to be made from Fainga. He drops Pryor as well. It was a great little burst up the middle from Vui, and Veritiem was almost away.
Yeah, that's great play from the Spirit. Firstly, from the big man, Vui, going straight through, just powerful, just wouldn't get put down. And then some great footwork here, just stood Tom Banks up. But good scramble there from the Vikings, making sure that they couldn't go on with it.
Folau Fainga, watch him make this cover tackle on Veritiem and then get up and drop Pryor as well. Double effort.
Yeah, those are the types of things they're going to need here. Just to, you know, pick up that sort of momentum and that mentality to get out there and just really take it to this Perth Spirit side.
It's got blood.
So, Richie Arnold. The Canberra Vikings, Perth Spirit rather, lead the competition in line breaks in 2017. And they've already got 4 line breaks tonight to their name.
Yeah, they're clearly a really attacking side, and they can threaten you from anywhere on the field. The scramble defence from the Vikings is going to have to be really strong, as well as just getting a really strong defensive line. First and foremost, get that line set, get some line speed, put some pressure on the ball carrier, and then from there you can start putting pressure at the breakdown.
The Perth Spirit, the only team in the Final 4 that made last year's finals. So they know how to get it done at this time of the year.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Spirit also in two of the last three grand finals. It's a better scrum from the Vikings.
Take him back. Take
Johnston
him back.
has to keep it low. And it clean bowls Euster. He has to go back and pick it up. And runs and attacks. Nick Euster. Nizarani had some carries already. Here's Braki shifting it along to Cowan. Verdiam out to Vui again. A little knock on at the base of the ruck there. So it's another turnover and another scrum for the Vikings.
You can put that one down. Some good pressure at the breakdown there from the captain, Tom Cusack.
Marks boys.
Just putting the halfback under some pressure as he was reaching in to get the ball out. And subsequently, a small little knock on. But that's what you can do when you've got a good line set. You make that early low chop tackle. Guys can get on there and pressure the ball. When you don't have that line set, they're making line breaks. You can't put breakdown pressure against the opposition when you're running back and trying to set your line.
Cusack's been outstanding. 5 tries in 4 games for the skipper.
Bind.
Scored a hat-trick here. We were here that night when he played against the Fijian and Drua.
Listen up, boys. I'm starting to lose my patience here with these scrum resets. Last chance to be able to fix it, otherwise I'll sort it out for you. Actually, as soon as he breaks his line, you break his line first.
Damon Murphy laying down the law.
Just a little note here, the Vikings attack is particularly flat. Wouldn't be surprised if we see them try to attack wide. Maybe Ikitau on a bit of a over split here. Try to bring Tom Banks into it outside the winger.
Set.
Going for the penalty again, the Vikings. It spits out the back. Hawara has to pick up the bounce pass. Dargaville now caught in the midfield. Again, it's a little untidy, but they've got the penalty advantage. The Vikings swaying around the corner. Good leg drive from the big man. Valentini. Again underneath Valentini. Grant holding him up. Will come back for the penalty.
Must roll straight away, please. 12 goal, roll.
Verdiam just getting penalised there for not rolling away. The referee being really clear with his instructions.
It was all good, everyone stayed in the contest.
Again, the Vikings looking for the touchline. They want to square it up here at Viking Park. The Spirit, though, defensively have been outstanding so far. Lovely touch finder.
Yeah, a couple of occasions they had this opportunity for their driving more. First occasion they didn't quite get set. They weren't able to get the ball low enough and it split outside. And the second time, Valentini probably went early and an arm got him in his action of passing and the ball went forward. So just need to go back to what's been working for them all year, which is just driving it forward through the opposition forwards.
Perth, to their credit, very good at spoiling it. They go to the front to Cusack. Shifted it along. And here's Valentini now. Again, they split early. Fainga inside to Leilua Iali'i-Macon. Out to Cusack running back on the angle. Nizarani gets him though, manhandles Tom Cusack. Dargaville in at first receiver. He's been busy tonight, James Dargaville. Whakasalea. Cusack shifts it along to Fainga again. Again, they get underneath him. Kateka does a very good job. The ball's there, though, for the Vikings. It's untidy. Hawara Little stutter step there from Howard. Monaghan goes same way. Back to Valentini. The back row's been working overtime through the phases. Sione with a pick and go. You're going to go through the middle now. Cusack making good meters. Now they go wide. Dargaville pins them. Oh, gets caught in a very good tackle. Zarani getting right across. Here's Fainga again. They're getting close, the Vikings here. To Whakasalea. Lonergan looking for the inside runner. Fainga again. They're so close, the Vikings. Lonergan has a little go himself. The pick and go.
Stay back, 12.
Valentini now picking and going. This time he gets it down. Rob Valentini, his 5th try in 4 matches.
Yeah, it's their go-to man, Rob Valentini. He calmed himself there at the base of the ruck. Everyone was a little bit frantic, but he just calmed himself. He waited. Showed great experience beyond his years. He's 19 years old, but just showed there. He just set himself. Didn't want to rush things. He knows he's big enough and he's strong enough. And if he got low enough and used those big, strong legs of his, he could get over, and that he did.
I tell you,
Pistons. Sorry, Nat.
I was just going to say, I tell you what, Brumbies coach Dan McKellar, he's in the crowd tonight and he's probably licking his lips at the moment. The number of young forwards playing for both Canberra and, of course, the Spirit today. Valentini, we've just seen there score the try. Of course, Folau Fainga will be playing for the Brumbies next season, and Izzy Nazarani. So it's looking pretty promising for the Brumbies.
They've got an embarrassment of riches in the back row with Pocock coming back.
Yeah, the young rookie, someone I heard, Pocock, who's playing his trade somewhere else, but he's coming back. Be great to see him back here in Australian rugby.
Oh, won't it? As Howard lines up the conversion. Hits it well. 7 all, 25 gone at Viking Park. The first NRC semi-final of 2017. We're all locked up. Valentini last week against the Rams. It was quite incredible.
Yeah, it's not only his ability in carrying the ball and busting tackles, but it's his work at the breakdown, his turnovers and that type of thing that really lifts his team.
It's his 7th try in 2017. Grant down towards the 22. And Oakman Hunt, his first touch is Cusack. Vikings now look like they've got a bit of a spring in their step. The Spirit really working hard in defence, and the quick tap from Muirhead gets them up towards halfway. Here's Fainga. Again running high. Ferris throws him to the deck, pulls the ball free as well. Gets it away to his skipper, Rangi, and Pryor, the little top spinner, over the top. It sits up. It's been taken into touch. Tackle in the air, as you heard there from David Murphy.
Back 10, please. Back 10.
Yeah, the Vikings asking the question there, because the ball bounced, does that rule apply? And Murphy really clear in his explanation. It does not matter. You have to still, first and foremost, worry about the safety of the attacking player.
Bring them down safely.
It's a tough one, though. If the ball bounces, you may as well just jump in the air. He can't be touched.
Yeah, Braki got up pretty high. Rangi now. It's a DeGrunt. Falls into the arms of Arnold. The Spirit. That try against them has really put a rocket up them. And they're deep in the Canberra half. Cowan. is David. And his debut last week for the Spirit. They go same way. Rangi throws the dummy, goes himself. They're close. The pick and go. It's a try to Richie Arnold. That'll be his second.
Yeah, it's great work from the Spirit. Phase after phase again. When they get into this zone, their ability to hold the ball and put phase after phase together is putting so much pressure on this Vikings defensive line. And in the end, the tall timber, Arnold was able to dive over. Big dummy here from Anaru Rangi. Goes himself off the left. Arnold sees there's no one behind. I don't know if he jumped over or if he just fell over. But either way, the big man is tall enough for him to dot the ball over the line.
I was going to say, it looked like your classic quarterback sneak, but he really just leant over the ruck here. Good job from the Spirit, though. They really raised the intensity after that kickoff. And Arnold's got 2. Grant to add the extras. He does so. It's 14 points to 7. The visitors leading as we approach half an hour. And Richie Arnold has 2 tries.
Yeah, he's been great early here. His first semi-final of the NRC. Getting through a mountain of work, but also getting a couple of tries for his efforts.
Scored last week and a couple of line breaks to his name as well. So the big guy can move. As can this man, Nizarani. He'll be coming to Canberra next year. Look to be tackled. Certainly was. So the penalty for the Vikings and a good opportunity for them to hit right back.
Yeah, Nizarani probably just a little bit too keen there. Thought he was released, but as we could see, he wasn't. And the Vikings are in a position that they are really comfortable with.
We haven't seen them all yet tonight. They had one crack at it and didn't quite get the execution. But every other line out they've had close, they've broken away.
Yeah, that can sometimes happen when things aren't going your way so much. You kind of break away and try and overplay your hand instead of go back to what works for them.
Valentini breaks away. Didn't quite work for them there. Fainga puts the head down. Looking for the offload. Gets it away to Hawara. So close, the Vikings.
Advantage, not rolling goal.
They have the penalty advantage. It's very slow. Comes out for Sione. Valentini, the pick and go.
7, leave it.
They're keeping it very tight. Lonergan in digging. The short ball and a try. And it's to the big fella, Sione.
Strong attack there from the Vikings. We saw them, we heard early, they got the penalty advantage in the rolling maul as Valentini broke away. And again, after just piecing phase after phase together, much like the Spirit tries, it just became too much. And across they go.
It's a lovely line from Sione. And Vui did his best to get in his road, but Sione too big, too strong, and too powerful.
That's right. This game is really there for the taking for either side. It's just about consolidating, going back to things that work for you well. Not trying to win the game here in the 30th minute, 35th minute. Just trust in your systems. We all hear it. We hear it so much. It's about an 80-minute performance. You're not going to win a semi-final in the NRC at half-time, Spaney.
Certainly not. Howard up, looking to add the extras. looking to lock it up. Down the middle, 14 all, 33 gone. And often in the NRC, well, of course, throughout the season, but all sides attack, 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 lots of tries, and then we get to the finals and teams lock it down, but both these sides having a red-hot crack tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see both teams, when they're getting down into the opposition half, coming away with points.
Very strong breeze. Cusack gets underneath it, but
In front.
offside accidentally.
You hit your Perth play and you're in front and you played the ball. Just unlucky, mate.
Kateka, as you heard, unlucky there. Johnston again is going to plug the same corner, even though the other side's probably closer. Not as much of a muchness. That's a big kick again from Ben Johnston.
He has got a cannon of a right foot.
He also had some assistance from the wind there. It is blowing an absolute gale down here.
Yeah, can feel it up here on the roof of the grandstand, that's for sure. She's a little nippy.
I understand that. I just want you to
Good conditions for rugby, though. NRC semi-final all locked up. Here's Valentini. Charging into the 22. Around the corner, Howard. Out the back to Johnston. They've some space now. Oh, that is beautiful to watch for Muirhead. Puts it down in the corner.
Oh, what a finish, Swaney. Tiptoeing down that sideline and getting the ball down. But there was great lead-up play there from the Vikings. Muirhead getting all the plaudits, but some really handy stuff inside him. Mostly some good work there at the line out. Another strong carry from this man, Valentini. So impressive. He'll feature heavily, I'm sure, next year in the Super Rugby. But as we see here, Hawera plays out the back to Johnston. Muirhead beats one, beats two, tiptoes, and dots it down. Great work, great finishing.
You love it when you see one winger pass it to the other winger to score the try. And shades of Drew Mitchell there, finishing in the corner. On the left wing.
Have to go a long way back to see someone as nimble as that with that name.
Muirhead. Been fantastic in 2017. 15 line breaks in 2017. And that's his 4th try in 5 games. And Howard at the extras. Strikes it pretty well. The flags go up. 21-14.
That is a great hit. You've heard us speak about these conditions. He knew he had to keep the ball low, and he did that, and it was a fantastic conversion there.
Vikings have hit their straps over the past 5 minutes or so. 2 unanswered tries. Grant again. Just trying to drop it on the 10. Again, picked up by Leolua Ieli-Imaken. Swain can't hold on to it. Ball's fortunately for Howard. Here's Cusack. Running the hole back on the angle. Here's Macon. Shifts it along to Oakman Hunt. Over the 10. Very untidy at the breakdown. Slow. Cusack gets back in the line, and another effort from the captain. Lonergan goes to the skies. Try scorer Muirhead there to make the tackle on Euster. And the Vikings turn it over. Now they've got some wind in their sails, that's for sure. Akasalea up towards the 22. Lonergan caught. And Dargaville has to go back and dive on it. He's had to do a lot of that tonight, James Dargaville. Valentini back on the angle. Faenga. Oh, heavy contact in the midfield. Awada looking for the inside runner. Gets it in the way of Cusack. Throws a loose pass out the back of his hand. It's been knocked on by the Spirit, so they have the advantage.
Knock on first here, in the tackle.
Come back for the scrum.
We just go back to that initial turnover. Muirhead chasing the box kick from Lonergan, but just not only making that great first up tackle, but getting to his feet straight away, releasing the tackled player and pushing through. Cleared that ball for his teammates to come through and get that turnover for the Vikings. Such crucial work, those double efforts from your players to come up with big plays like that.
We talk about Muirhead being an extremely good attacking player. Defensively, though, strong.
Seeing that as good body height, getting underneath David there, and just clearing the path for his Vikings teammates to come through and steal that ball from the Spirit's ruck.
Time back on.
An opportunity for the Vikings to play flat here to the left.
Just a minute remaining in this half.
Crouch.
And a great battle at scrum time.
9, 6.
Little unstable.
Both sides.
Been a good contest at scrum time.
Let's just hold that weight for me.
Both teams we've seen have gained penalties. Good, strong battle there up front.
Good crowd in here at Viking Park as we approach half-time.
9, 6.
Now the Spirit get the shove on. They'll earn the tight head. Nizarani comes away with it. Already Am coming around the corner, stepping. Oh, the intercept was there for the taking from Johnston. And Damon Murphy penalises Ben Johnston there.
Johnston getting penalised for a deliberate knockdown. I think sometimes we go too quickly to the whistle for that one. He, in my opinion, tried to intercept that and make a genuine play at the ball. And sometimes just if there's a player on the outside, they're quick to put that whistle in their mouth, but no disrespect to Murphy there. It's hard in the spur of the moment, but I thought he was unlucky there, Johnston.
It was there for the taking, the intercept.
Let's go, boys. Boys, set the line.
So the Spirit looking for a big play right on half-time to potentially tie it up. Nizarani. Here's Grant. Dummies goes himself. Look to get the arm free. Nizarani again around the corner. Oh, the intensity here at Viking Park. It's huge. Verity Am was tackled. Here's Arnold. Nizarani now. Met in the midfield. Quick ball. Here's Owen looking for the inside man. Goes himself. Grant steps into scrum half and Verity Am stepping up towards the 5. They go same way. Vui gets up and goes again. Nizarani charging at the line.
Release now! Release!
Perth looking to pick and go. They do. Now they get it out to Ferris. Oh, and it's a hat trick for Richie Arnold right on half-time. 3 tries for the big man inside 40 minutes.
There you go, a hat trick. And they're the types of tries that really hurt not only the Vikings, but especially the coaches. We've seen the lead up. There was cries from the Vikings of a knock on, but clear instructions from the referee that it was a rip from the tackling player, which is Fainga Folau. Fainga, my apologies, but we could see there in the vision he didn't have a play at it. And again, it's just that pressure, phase after phase. Running a good line there, Arnold, to get his hat trick in the first 40 minutes of the opening semi-final.
He's pretty hard to stop 3 metres out, Richie Arnold. He hasn't had to go far for any of his tries, but certainly can score them. Grant looking to tie up the scores as we approach half-time. Does it well. 21-all at half-time. Richie Arnold, the 3rd Perth Spirit player to score a hat-trick. Park, who will be the first through to the NRC Grand Final in 2017. Peter Grant, again, high and shallow into that man. Hands, Richie Arnold. 3 tries already, but a little knock on. So, straight away, the Vikings with a chance through their scrum, Drew Mitchell.
Yeah, he's certainly involved in everything, is Richie Arnold. Ball just sitting up nicely for him, just getting over the 10 metres in the tackle contest. Small little knock on. Sees the Vikings get the scrum feed.
His brother, obviously, on the spring tour, Rory, but would be playing for the Vikings if he was back here. So they'd be lining up against each other.
Yeah, that would have been great to see.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
And the Vikings, big shove. Hawara goes high. And big shot. A big tackle. They got the advantage, the Perth Spirit. Here's David coming through the middle. Pryor over the top. We'll come back for the penalty.
No arms. No arms.
Yeah, referee just penalising Muirhead there, I think, on the chase. Used to taking the ball. Second man in there. Muirhead just getting pinged for
Another tackle, Anu.
no arms. Just those small little lapses in concentration can just cost your team so much, especially in a semi-final against a team with such quality like the Perth Spirit.
As we've said, very experienced at this time of year, the Perth Spirit. So they're deep in the Vikings half. Rangi, the captain today.
Across them.
Clean ball for the Spirit. Out the back to David. Looking to run the overslides. Get the offload away to Euster. It's a little untidy, but they hold on to possession. David goes again. The pick and go from the Perth Spirit. Under the far side, the ball's good from Euster out to Braki.
Knock on goal.
The Vikings turn it over, though. The hands just letting them down at the last moment, the Perth Spirit.
Stay back.
Johnston bangs it down up towards halfway. Here's Grant pinning them down up towards the 22. Kateka to Rangi, the skipper. So strong, Anaru Rangi. Around the corner to Verity Am. Kateka again. Euster to Grant. They go long to David. Now there's a chance down this far side for Ferris. Brought down. Nizarani cutting back. Braki to Vui. Shakes the first tackle. From a low centre of gravity, Shambekla Vui. His front row partner, Cowan, with the wraparound play. Hawara makes the tackle. Got a little hand on it, so it'll be a knock-on and a scrum for the Perth Spirit.
And we spoke about it at half-time. The Vikings just persisting with trying to tackle these Perth Spirit ball carriers up high. Try and tackle Vui up high. More often than not, you're going to go backwards. He's such a strong man with a low centre of gravity. You've just got to get low and chop him early. Take that momentum out of their legs and let that second man come in and put pressure at the breakdown at the moment. Vikings are getting caught in a wrestle up top.
Gents, the one change for the Vikings at halftime. Sione's come off the ground. Obviously, we saw him clutching his shoulder in that first half. He succumbed to that injury. Vikings not taking any risks with him in this second 40.
Crunch. Bind. Set.
Thank you for that injury update.
Straight down.
Nat Yanides, Harrison Lloyd on the field, his replacement.
Same issue, both. Height and bind for me, please.
21 points apiece. If the game does finish a draw, we go to extra time in the NRC semi-finals.
Big blindside here for the Perth Spirit.
Set.
Meraki on the right. May see Nizarani and Pryor come down.
They sure do. Drew Mitchell, we called it. Nizarani brought down. Braki has to go in to Arnold. There's a lazy runner for the Vikings. Oh, it sits up. Anarurangi diving on it, and the skipper scores. How did that happen?
I'd like to see that again, but it was scrappy. But the ever-present Anarurangi running through, picking up an absolute screamer off his toes. So we see the ball is getting tipped into one of the Vikings players who are retreating. Koteka puts it onto the toe. Lonergan not being able to pick it up, gets towed forward, and Rangi just swooping on it. Gets himself a 5-pointer.
Well, Arnold threw the last pass, you have to say, so maybe a try assist for him.
Yeah, Lonergan just couldn't quite get that bounce, just needed to dive on it and secure the ball. Instead, fumbled it, got caught up with Muirhead.
What a pickup from Rangi as well.
I've been impressed with Anarurangi throughout this NRC campaign. He's obviously strong in that set piece, but with ball in hand, equally impressive.
So experienced, Peter Grant. Hits it nicely. 28 plays, 21. 48 gone. Anarurangi, his first match in charge of the Perth Spirit tonight. And what a try to his name. It was a fantastic pickup. Hawara down towards the 22. Ferris underneath it. Malatini going in, digging. Here's David. The Vikings really trying hard to compete at the breakdown. Grant looking for the cross kick. It's not great. Sits up for Hawara. Stepping. Slow. It's really slow. In fact, it's been turned over by the Spirit. They're really competing. The kick down the middle of the field sits up for Dargaville. Cross to Muirhead, putting on a bit of footwork. Runs into a wall of Perth Spirit players. Here's Swain. Good leg drive from Darcy Swain again. Banks into first receiver to Howard. Up over the 40, the 10. Here's Macon bouncing off the first tackle. Now goes to ground. Dargaville looking for the inside runner, Johnston, who looked for the offload again. It sits up for Lloyd. It's play on. Lonigan, they've got the advantage now. Oakman Hunt chopped. Will come back for the penalty.
Offside. Offside.
It just sat up for Harrison Lloyd. Made good meters up the middle of the field.
Yeah, that's right. Just the offload initially didn't go to hand, but the ball sat up for Harrison Lloyd. Did well to retain that ball. As we see the defensive team, once they get broached and the attacking team are in behind them, so hard to form that line. And subsequently, more often than not tonight, both sides have been guilty of infringing in those types of positions. Beautiful.
Marginal ball.
Marginal ball, but we'll let it go.
Set up for Lloyd.
Referee was in good position.
Sure was. And caught offside the Perth Spirit, so the Vikings on the attack. Oakman Hunt hands it back to Valentini, who's running straight across field, now straightens up, looking for the hole. Straight up the middle goes Swain. Great hands from Lonigan. The pick and go from Dargaville, the offload game. Wide to Cusack. And the captain, it's gone forward.
Oh, they've called that early. There were so many numbers for the Vikings out left. Valentini saw it, tried to get it there, but he's come back for a forward pass.
Probably just needed to go through the hands.
Yeah. He didn't touch him in there.
No, he touched him. He touched him. That's even worse.
I didn't see him touch anyone. Looks like they've gone straight through.
Valentini just so many
I don't
options.
think they touched anyone. What are you saying, Joy?
In the end, probably chose the only one that wasn't going to work.
Yeah. Also, you can't hold them up in the air. You must bring them straight to ground. You can't hold a player in the air.
You sure? Well, he can't touch him in there then.
I understand he didn't touch him.
Are we talking about this one?
Good conversation there between Captain Cusack and referee Damon Murphy.
Bit of a debate, I'd have to say.
Yeah, but good.
Sounded like an episode of Q&A. Perth Spirit looking to exit their half now. They'll have the scrum on their goal line.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Big scrum from the Vikings. Comes back for Pryor. They get the turnover.
Huge pressure from the Vikings scrum, putting Pryor in a difficult situation, trying to dig in and get that ball out from Nazarani's feet. And as a result, knocks it on. Harrison Lloyd pretty pumped. So he should be. It's great work there from the Vikings, tight five.
Let's go, boys.
Giving them a fantastic opportunity, 5 metres out with the big blind side.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Just sitting in the channel there. It comes out the same tunnel. This scrum battle, immense, Drew Mitchell.
Yeah, I've never been up there and in the trenches, but I could imagine the lactate in their quads, the strain going through their back would be huge. but every time they're getting up, wanting to climb back into each other again. It's great to see.
Plenty of chatter.
Crouch. Bind. Set. And now.
Here comes the push from the Vikings. They've got the advantage. Lonergan to Hawara. Runs into a wall of Perth Spirit players, though. The pick and go. Whakasalea. He twists and he turns. And he puts the ball down. They're claiming it.
And you got me?
Referee's going upstairs to have a look at the grounding, but I think we can see by their reactions.
Here. I just want you to check. Over here, I've got no try, player not releasing. I just want you to double check whether that player's actually scored the try for me, please.
Okay, so confirming on-field decision is no try.
What's that, sorry?
Confirming on-field decision is no try.
Yes.
I'm just checking the grounding.
Correct, yeah.
We good with that ball?
I can't hear him.
We look at the replay here. Whakasalea twisting and turning. Still not tackled, and he's got every right to play the ball.
Is that our only angle?
For me, that is a TRY.
Look to have...
Gives me... Yeah, so there's nothing that actually shows where the try line is there?
Looks like he's on the post pad there.
Yeah, keep it rolling. Okay, we'll go to the referee for a decision.
Okay, sweet.
So the decision has to be relayed here to Damon Murphy, the referee.
So time back on. No try. Penalty over here for the scrum.
No try.
Collapsing.
Wow. But they'll come back for the penalty.
Goal collapsing. Yeah. Hang on a second.
The ball looked to be on the post pad. It was very tight. Tom Cusack getting plenty of attention here.
Yeah, we saw the advantage from the scrum, and then from there, Whakasalea getting low. Spun out, had every right. We saw that ball there at the bottom of the post pad, but...
It is hard to see the try line. Give him that.
Yeah, absolutely. The on-field decision was no try because it was tough to get that angle. That's the one we had to stick with.
Well, Natalie Unides is with a special guest.
Yeah, thanks, Swaney. I've got Brumbies coach Dan McKellar down here with me. Dan, what have you made of the game so far?
It's been a good game. I think it's been built around defence and set piece at the moment. Our guys are going okay. We've probably just got to sort out our clearance with getting it out of our end, and I think the Spirit guys have put us under pressure and when they've got near our 22.
How impressed have you been with the scrum battle so far?
Oh, yeah, they've gone well. I think Les Makin scrummaging really well up against a pretty good pack. You know, Shambach Lavui's a very good tight head at the Spirit there, and then obviously Pat Cowan brings plenty of experience.
How many of these boys out here tonight are playing for or auditioning for Super Rugby spots for next season?
Oh, look, you'd like to say all of them, but I think, there's guys there that have got contracts, and Cusack, your Valentinis, these sort of guys. But, all the guys that are contracted next year are certainly putting their best foot forward, not just tonight, but over the last few weeks in terms of their performance.
Dan, thanks so much for your time.
Pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Great to hear from the Brumbies head coach, Dan McKellar there.
Crouch.
Back to the job at hand.
Bind. Set.
Vikings dominant in the scrum, last scrum. Looking to hold it in here. Again, they've got the shove on. Sits up for Kiteka.
Not pushing straight.
They had the penalty advantage.
Yeah, in the last two occasions, the Vikings have got the penalty. You'd have to think Cusack will go for the scrum again. You'd have to think one more infringement at scrum time, perhaps they'd go for a yellow.
On both on this side.
What is the scrum doing?
So one was collapsing, that's not pushing straight. We should sort it out for me, please.
If we're going forward, what do you want to do?
You're not going forward, mate. No, you're not.
Pet Cowan not happy. But the Vikings have had dominance in the scrum. Huge moments in finals games.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
This time they get the shove on again, the Vikings. Whakasalea holding it at the back. They've got the penalty advantage again. Lonergan goes short side. Muirhead caught. They pick and go, the Vikings. To Valentini now. We've got another advantage, the Vikings. Here's Whakasalea. Denied the try before. Lloyd picks and goes. Trying to beat them up the middle, the Vikings now. Pick and go from Valentini now. It's untidy. It's very untidy. They're close to the line. The Vikings score. Finally, they're rewarded. And it's Harrison Lloyd who'll get up with the ball.
Yeah, strong set piece from the Vikings. They had the penalty advantage. They chose to try their hand at playing it. And then from there, they also got an advantage for player not rolling away. But in the end, it was just the pick and drive from the forwards and the Vikings. Harrison Lloyd being the one in the end to get that ball over, driving himself and getting the ball down over the line for a 5-pointer.
We've really got a game on our hands, Drew. Howard big moments as we spoke of before. And Howard with the kick to tie the scores. Harrison Lloyd scoring the try.
We spoke about big moments, but sometimes those big moments in these types of games are actually really small margins. It's things like going back, receiving your kickoff and exiting well, those types of things. If you do it poorly, straight away you're under pressure. First up though, Hawera, the opportunity to add the extras.
Standing over it a long time, Howard hits it well. It comes back around. He ties the scores. It's 28 all. The 58th minute. Replacements for the Perth Spirit. Harrison Lloyd, the try scorer for the Vikings. And replacements, Bo King and Summer Malolo coming on the field. Which means Ian Pryor takes over the captaincy for the Perth Spirit. Richie Arnold taps it back. It's like a pinball, the footy here in Canberra, and the Vikings come up trumps.
It really is a big advantage for the Spirit to have the tall man Richie Arnold at that kickoff time. Doesn't need a lifter, just runs up, jumps up, puts his hand up, gets the ball back. Thank you very much.
It's like watching LeBron James there just palm the ball back. Let's another look at it.
From that, though, we saw the ball just getting scrappy on the ground, hard to pick up.
Oakman Hunt had the players lifting him and Arnold just swatted it away.
Richie Arnold is having an absolute screamer of the game so far. Hell of a game.
Free kick. The Vikings looking to lock it down. They're looking to scrum.
Yeah, Cusack taking no time there to asked referee for a scrum. He knows they've had the wood on them in the last 10, 20 minutes or so in the set piece, but with the new replacements, it seems the same type of pressure as it being applied.
I know some front rowers wouldn't disagree with me here, but when you watch a scrum battle sometimes in a rugby game, it can be a little bit tough to watch, but this has been fascinating stuff.
Yeah, it's enthralling. I don't know how I'd feel if I was actually out there on the wing in this game, though. I'd get pretty cold watching it.
They get the penalty, the Vikings. The scrum dominance continues.
Interesting here, whether they go for the line out or maybe keep putting that pressure in the scrum. It's too far out, though, I think, to go the scrum again.
Johnston will put it in the corner. Would have been getting close to yellow card territory earlier, down towards the goal line.
Yeah, and I think that might be in the back of Cusack's mind, contemplating perhaps to continue with that scrum pressure. We see some strong work there from Harrison Lloyd.
Been fantastic since he's come on. Try scorer and strong in the scrum. Off the top, the Vikings go. Here's Muirhead. Swain. Oh, just making metres, Darcy Swain, every time he touches the ball. Cusack can't pick it up off the bootlaces, and so it'll be a turnover and a scrum to the Perth Spirit.
Back to the scrum. I think the Spirit will look to get this one in and out really quickly. Try and exit their half well. But good defensive line there from the Spirit, putting pressure. Just a poor pass around the bootlaces of Cusack, making it difficult for him to pick up.
It's been their strength tonight, the Perth Spirit, their line speed. With the pressure on the attacking Vikings players.
Bind. Set.
Solid for the Perth Spirit this time. Grant. Looking for a bit of grass, finds it. Bounces well for Johnston, though. Here's Banks, looking to get on the outside. Ikitau now stepping up towards halfway. They go short side. Braki intercepts it. It's been towed ahead by Kateka. It's a foot race now. Hawara. Did he get it? Looks like it's Perth Spirit ball. Nizarani now. The Vikings, though, so strong at the breakdown, and Muirhead got over the ball. Did a very good job.
Yeah, did a great job getting back there, first and foremost, but then to put that pressure, the breakdown, getting the turnover. Koteka was probably a little bit lucky in the phase just before that, not rolling away. But both teams, great intent to get on that loose ball. It's no surprise it's locked up here at 28 all. Both teams really wanting this.
Again, a big nudge. Downtown.
Rocky just reading that really well. Koteka throwing the foot at it. Good battle with him and Hawara. Just here, as Hawara had it. Well, I guess both guys probably had an argument to say that they had it.
Yeah, both could have had a claim, that's for sure. Wenger finds Cusack. Here's Valentini. Now straightening, got hit hard by Koteka. Swain inside to Oakman Hunt. Gets monstered by Arnold. Now they come back towards the short side through Lloyd. Valentini not very well. Swain looking to slip the offload away. It goes forward. It's been turned over by the Spirit. Pryor, little box kick. Oh, it sits up awkwardly for Muirhead. Has to jump up and take it. Lonergan is waiting for his charges. Cusack. Perth Spirit diving into that one. Off their feet, so the penalty for the Vikings. Double tap on the whistle. Let's have a listen.
In.
That's not related.
Huh?
That's not related.
No, it's nothing to that. There's a lot of penalties now against you guys.
What was that one for, sorry?
I was just diving off his feet. Okay. So I need you to have a chat to him, sort it out. Otherwise, next one.
Just a bit too keen, yes.
Yeah.
You heard there from Pryor, just a little bit too keen. And I must say, in the last 5 or 6 minutes, I've really noticed the intensity lift up from both sides.
Hold.
So we see in the second half, penalties conceded 6 to the Perth Spirit, only 1 to the Vikings. A lot of that has been at scrum time. But referee Murphy asking Pryor to have a chat to his team. Just off their feet, coming over at that ruck time. But the sting and the intensity in the ball carries and the tackles really lifted here. Obviously, this game means a lot to both sides.
4 tries apiece, 28 all. NRC semi-final #1. What a kick again from Johnston. He chews off at least 40 every time.
Yeah, it's great to have someone like that in your side because their line out and their maul is so strong for the Vikings, puts them in strong attacking positions.
And Grant coming from the field. Go to the front of the line out. They can't control it, the Vikings, though. Perth Spirit ball.
Step back.
Braki in at first receiver to David. The line out just starting to trouble the Vikings. They've turned it over, though, and Valentini gets the offload away to Cusack for the line.
Time off.
Cusack
Check.
over the line.
Cusack looking a little sore there as he gets up.
Yeah, so I've got no try.
He looks to be nursing his shoulder a little bit.
Double check, yeah. In.
Dargaville stripped the ball in the tackle and got it away to Valentini.
In, you got me?
As we listen,
Yeah, wonderful.
to
So I
what
just want you to check
the referee
grounding.
saw.
I've got no try held up, but I want you to double check to see if the ball actually got on the ground for me, please.
Confirming on-field decision is no try held
No
up.
try held up.
Having a look now.
So no try is the decision on the field.
Hey?
Great covering tackle there as we see if he got the ball down.
So hard to see.
All right, let's have a look at it. Thanks.
We're going to have a look at the reverse angle here.
This will be the telling one.
He doesn't get it down initially. Looks to go over the top.
And roll it through. Keep rolling.
Yep.
Okay, we'll go to the decision with the referee. Damo, have you got me?
Yeah, mate.
Okay, confirming stay with on-field decision.
Sweet.
Plays held up.
Too easy.
Another huge moment in this semi-final. Pryor.
Time back on. No try. Held up. Scrum.
You have to say it was great scrambling defence from Perth Spirit, but equally that turnover and run then from Valentini,
So same applies.
and then the offload to Cusack. Great play from the Vikings, but that man, the standing skipper Ian Pryor, just getting under the ball. So we see Louis David is going in high. Dargaville ripping the ball off him,
2 and
giving it
1.
to Valentini. Gets a great out the back pass to Cusack, and Ian Pryor just getting underneath. The two skippers colliding there in the end goal.
Oh, it was at the last moment as well. Cusack.
Falafanga coming off the field. It's put in a big shift, and also Muirhead.
So A big Lausi Taliali on the field, and Robbie Abel, who's a pretty able replacement, you have to say.
I think there may have been some pun intended there, Swaney.
Fine. We go both. Set.
The scrum being so strong for the Vikings. What can they do here? Now they get the push going. They hold it in at the back.
Advantage.
They're short of the line. Now they go wide. And it's Tom Banks scoring the try for the Vikings. They go ahead.
Well, we can feel the atmosphere here at Viking Park. They're happy to see that man, Tom Banks. We spoke about him before the game. He's had limited opportunities. The game's been played pretty well in tight all game. And off the back of some great set pieces again from the Vikings, he is there to collect the spoils and put the ball down over for a 5-pointer.
Gee, it was untidy there for Whakasalea. He just gets held short, and then they had numbers on the right.
Yeah, again, it's just that pressure, it's set piece that's really working for the Vikings. They must just be licking their lips every time the ref signals for a scrum.
7 tries in 2017 for Tom Banks. Howard looking to add the extras. Probably his toughest kick of the night. Looking to bring it back. He can't this time. So the score will remain 33-28. Tom Banks been outstanding in 2017. That's his 7th try for the year.
Yeah, he's been great. And he got rewarded with his NRC form with an opportunity for the Barbarians. I played against that guy last week for the Classic Wallabies, and he bumped me off and got himself a try. Probably one of the easier ones he's gone over for, but he is special, and he could be someone who could make a real telling play late in this game.
Terrific finisher as well. Taliali receives the kickoff, so the Vikings ahead here in Canberra. Just the 5 points, though, splitting these two sides. Howard throws the dummy to Valentini now. Perth really looking to make a meal of the ruck. Let's have a listen here.
It's a build up a lot of penalties, mate. Bring another option. 7. Off you go. 10. It's 10. 10 infringements.
Damon Murphy's lost his patience. The penalty count has been huge in this second half against the Perth Spirit. And now they lose Kane Kateka for 10 minutes. The one-man advantage. How big's that going to be, Drew Mitchell?
We see it just about to tick over the 70-minute mark, so you'd have to say they're basically going to have to finish this game off with 14 men. It's going to be difficult, especially come scrum time again. They'll have to make a decision whether they put a back on the side of the scrum just to add that weight.
Looks like Tom Cusack, the Canberra captain, is coming from the field as well. He's really carrying that right shoulder.
Yeah, he's a tough customer. You know, it must be something quite serious if he's coming off.
There's the penalty count in this second half.
Yeah, we see a lot of yellow there for Perth Spirit. And as a result, Kane Kateka saw a yellow. It's more from the team infringements than just the penalty for himself.
The Vikings win the line out, and Howard goes into the line himself. Oakman Hunt. Lonergan looking for runners. Finds Angus Allen on the field for Tom Cusack. Here's Robbie Abel. Spins out of the first tackle, brought down just over halfway. They're really trying to make a mess of the breakdown. The Perth Spirit. Braki makes the spot tackle. Here's Abel now. Again, gets the offload away to Swain. It was a good one. Hawara. Flat. Straight through goes Oakman Hunt. He finds Hawara. Hawara straight into the line. Hawara goes down under the posts.
That is great work from the Vikings, and they are happy. There are hugs all around there for the Vikings, for the try scorer, Hawara. He dots it down, makes it easy for himself, puts it right under the black dot, but he throws a great ball to Swain. Sorry, it was Oakman Hunt, I'm sorry, but then he finds Hawara again. It was a little 1-2 play. Plays him short, looks to play out the back, plays short. Great work there from the Vikings, number 10. And then supports up the middle to get one over for the Vikings here in the last 8 minutes here in the semi-finals of the NRC.
And I tell you what, there is no better time to score your first NRC try than 9 minutes to go in a semi-final. Hawara, his first in the NRC.
He's been instrumental in crafting so many tries. This time gets to dot the ball down for himself. And importantly, the Vikings put back-to-back scores together.
They had the extras, so a decent lead now for the Vikings with about 7.5 to play.
But we've also seen how capable this Perth Spirit team are of scoring points.
They came back from a big deficit last week, and Arnold again wins the kickoff. And now the Spirit have the advantage. Big Bo King up towards the 22. Here's Grant. Short ball. The Perth Spirit on the attack now. They go wide to Malolo. Summer Malolo into the 22. Nizarani goes out the back to Grant. To Arnold again. Been incredible tonight, Richie Arnold. Grant gets it wide to Hardwick. Hardwick brought down about 5 out. Nizarani now. The Perth Spirit lifting the intensity again. Grant thought he spotted a gap. Verity Am, he goes himself as well. Arnold close. That's a try to the Perth Spirit, and it's Summer Malolo. So they hit back the Perth Spirit with 6 to play.
We spoke about it. We spoke about it at kickoff time, how good they are at going to this man, Richie Arnold. Look at him just get up here, throw his big mid up there and bats it back for the Perth Spirit. But we spoke about how important it was for the Vikings to exit their half, because this Perth Spirit team is so capable of scoring. We've seen it on a number of occasions, not just tonight, but throughout the campaign, as they hurry to add the extras.
And they've added the extras as we take a look at the try. Malolo right over the top, a bit like Richie Arnold did in the first half for the Perth Spirit side. And the extras are good. So the score is 40-35, and the Vikings taking their time coming back now. The Spirit will have about 30 seconds left on the clock with 15 men. They've done that with 14 men on the field, Drew Mitchell.
That's right, but Swaney, there needs to be a stoppage, a set piece in that last 30 seconds for that man to come back on.
Hardwick takes the ball. The Spirit, what can they muster? Nizarani. They go out the back to David. David, hard man to stop. Go around the corner now. to King. King still going. Baxter King making metres. Grant to Nizarani. Throws the dummy. Up over halfway, Nizarani. The Spirit on the attack here. Verity Am now. This is incredible stuff from the Spirit. The inside ball to Uyen. Malolo, the try scorer. Relentless attack from the Perth boys. Just making metres every time. O'Brien now up towards the 22. The Vikings looking to pilfer. Nizarani. They go short side to Verity Am. Stepping, gets hit by Valentini. Uyen steps in to Nizarani, who knocked it backwards. Looked to have knocked it forward. It didn't, so King inside the 22. Incredible stuff. The pick and go. Verity Am has to go into scrum half. Here's Grant. Owen. What an incredible semi-final we've witnessed tonight. Arnold, a hat-trick hero for the Spirit. Nizarani. They've still got 14 men on the field. Grant looks to go himself. Gets tackled into touch. Rob Valentini with the tackle.
Oh, Swaney. I tell you what, I am exhausted just watching that. This man, Rob Valentini, has come up with a huge play 2 minutes before time. Relentless attack from the Spirit.
Let's have another look at this.
I've seen those ones being called forward, but on field, perhaps a different angle, different view.
It's line ball, and then this from Valentini. Ball and all tackle on Peter Grant into touch.
Yeah, Valentini also assisted by Taliali, but still need to exit their own half here.
2 minutes on the clock. The Vikings holding on by their fingernails. The ball goes over the top, and the Spirit have it in their hands now. They can't win the line out, the Vikings. Into the line goes O'Brien. Arnold. 3 tries tonight. Grant goes himself. Uyen. The Vikings defensive line hanging on at the moment. Short ball to Arnold. Nizarani picks and goes. They look to hold him up, but the maul is called. It's a turnover, and once again it's Valentini. You can hear the crowd going nuts here at Viking Park.
That is a huge play, Swaney, but we have to go back to the line-out. You have to ask, why would they go to the back at such a crucial time? Go to your 2 ball, get the ball, get it out. But they did some great work in their defensive line, getting the numbers. This guy has been huge. 59 run metres, probably a little bit less than he's had, but it's the quality and it's the timing of when those metres have come in, and his work in defence has been huge. So we see the ball go over the back. Kane Katseka come back from the naughty chair.
Time back on. Yeah.
Both teams at full complement, 15 and 15.
Valentini just timed that tackle beautifully. And the maul was called. So we've got about 20 seconds left on the clock here.
It's not just his skill, Valentini, but it's just also the way he reads the game. He's just in the right position so often.
Free kick for the Vikings. The Vikings
Decision, please. Decision.
holding on here.
That's the clock. Scrum.
They'll have another scrum. So the clock looks to have ticked over the 80th minute.
Yeah, obviously, they're not too sure exactly how much time was left. On our clock, the time was up. They could tap it and kick it out. The game was done, but perhaps the referee's clock is slightly different.
The sole judge of time.
That's right.
Eamon Murphy today.
Huge scrum, this one. Both teams' finals appearance comes down to this.
It's back there. And Johnston puts it into touch. It is full time and the Vikings are into the big dance.
What a game, Swaney.
40 points plays, 35. A late try to the Perth Spirit kept them in it. But the Vikings hold on by 5. You said it, Drew Mitchell. What a game.
Yeah, it's heartache for the Spirit. You have to feel for them. What a performance they put in. We spoke